Welcome to Daily Sama. This is Dr. Shalini Bahl, and today we're going to be practicing a compassion micro practice called Causes and Conditions. So today's practice is an invitation to transform our judgments into understanding. That's what compassion can do. And one of the problems, if we are trying to bring change, whether it's in ourselves or in our communities, a common challenge we can face. Welcome. If you're just joining today for the first time, every day we are practicing with one mindfulness skill using a reminder from my app. Oops, that's not very clear, is it? Based on my book, Return to Mindfulness, and today's reminder is Causes and Conditions. This is in service of helping us cultivate understanding when there are differences, polarizations, whether it's in our communities, in our own families, or in the workplace. And if you notice that we're facing resistance towards the changes that we're proposing, one of the things we can practice, which is also similar to systems thinking, is to disrupt our judgments, our automatic judgments that are rising, by inviting some compassion and that process of transforming the judgments into understanding of the causes and conditions. And once we're able to understand the causes and conditions for a situation to arise, we are able to offer better solutions. So I invite you today to think of a situation where you would like to foster deeper understanding. It could be a personal relationship. It could be a situation at work. So think of one specific situation, and we're going to just do a micro practice and see how we can disrupt or bring awareness to our judgments and transform that into understanding. So before we begin, I also want to read briefly the card that the micro practice card from my Deckable app. And it says, everyone has a story. When we open ourselves to understanding, we open a door to healing. When feeling stuck in judgment of yourself or others, pause, take a breath or a change of scenery. Consider what factors could have led things to be the way they are, and what is one action or question you can follow up with for the sake of deeper understanding. So we're going to do this practice together. As always, we like to start with the first step of returning to our present moment experience. And so we can use the breath as a way to invite the mind to be in alignment with this body, with our minds. And so taking a deep breath in and exhaling slowly. Just for these few moments, letting go of any judgments, rushing, expectations, and bringing a scientist's mind where we are becoming the observer and the researcher. So just letting go of thoughts and allowing yourself to feel the breath. The moment it enters your nostrils, following it as far as it wants to go. And exhaling slowly through the mouth. So repeating this at your own pace. So using your breath as a way to anchor in this present moment in your body. And if your mind feels extra busy, you can always place your hand on your chest. And that helps to shift our attention from the mind and thinking to the body. So feeling the warmth of your hand on your body. Feeling the rising and falling of the breath in your chest. And from this place of connection with your breath and your body, bringing to mind the situation for which you'd like to cultivate a deeper understanding. And if there's somebody else involved, let's just start by connecting with this person, considering the similarities that we may have with this person. So, regardless of our differences, first, maybe offering these phrases or other phrases to see our similarities. How this person is a fellow human being just like me. This person also wants to be happy just like me. This person has suffered in their life, just like me. Or any other similarity, how this person cares for the same things, just like me, or this person is working hard, just like me. And from this place of connection, of similarities with this fellow human being, now expanding your awareness to the situation and what might be the cause and conditions for the situation to arise. So, starting by checking in with your judgments without any judgment of your judgments, just noticing what are some thoughts, beliefs, assumptions you're bringing to the situation. So, with kindness to yourself, we're just observing, noticing what are some judgments you're bringing to this situation, and looking at the underlying causes and conditions for those judgments to arise. Was there a need that was not met or a lack of clarity? So, just looking at what were the cause and conditions for your judgments to arise. And then when you feel ready, you can shift perspective to the other person and seeing their behavior or their words. What is underlying? What are the unspoken needs of this other person? Where are they feeling threatened, or their competence, their goodness, their sense of belonging? What is feeling threatened? Or what might be going on in their lives to show up in this way? And trusting yourself to know. Sometimes we're like, how can we know what's going on? Sometimes we don't know what's going on. So even just holding the intention of understanding what's going on for this person without even really knowing what's going on, just returning to that intention of seeing this fellow human being fully with that mindset of understanding their life circumstances. And from this place of empathy and understanding, what is one step you can take to deepen your understanding of the situation of this person? And of course, if you need more clarity or need to go deeper with this practice, feel free to continue on your own. I'll be sharing the recording of this if you'd like to continue with this practice, where we start with stabilizing the mind, returning to our present moment experience, and then listening within to what is it we're bringing to the situation, our judgments, assumptions, and what is going on for the other person. And then maybe even checking in with your intentions. What are your intentions for this situation? Would you like to continue working with this person? You'd like to come up with healthy solutions. So, what are your intentions for this situation? And then looking at how can you begin? So, the three steps in what I offer is return, listen, and begin. And this is something that I used as a city councilor when I was in politics, and there was a lot of polarization, divisiveness within the town council and in our city. And I would notice that there were automatic judgments coming up, towards my fellow counselors. Oh, there she goes again. And that's natural to have a judgments based on our past experiences with people. But what we're really cultivating with compassion, and this takes a lot of courage and strength to actually disrupt the strong judgments we're holding about ourselves or others, to disrupt that and make room to see the bigger picture of what might be going on. And when I did do that in my council meetings, I would intentionally bring in this practice, like, let me step into the shoes of the other person. So this is not intellectual thinking, but actually going through the steps of first stabilizing the mind, connecting with your body, with your breath. That's a very important first step. If we jump to fixing without first arriving into our bodies and really using the breath, your body, sounds, any practice you have to ground yourself, so you feel your mind is calm, and with the calm comes clarity. And then from that place of clarity, doing the process of genuinely wanting to see this other person and genuinely holding that intention of understanding. And when we live and lead with that intention of understanding, inevitably we do find that our interaction changes. So my line of questioning would change. Rather than being defensive or shutting the other person down from my judgments, I would shift to, what does this person know? What are their lived experiences that I don't have? And that would completely change the dynamic. So I'm curious if what's coming up for you based on what we have discussed or practiced together. If you have any questions, any challenges, anywhere that something resonated or something that didn't resonate, feel free to share it in the comments. You can do it now, or once I share the recording in Sama Life micro practices section, I'll be sharing the recording there. We can continue the conversation there as well. But there is a lot that's wrong within our own lives, our families. Things are breaking down, and with the news and media and the world at large. And the more we can cultivate compassion in our own selves, the more we can carry forward that mindset, behavior, speech into our interactions. And this does have ripple effects. So I thank you for your practice today. Every day at noon, we are picking up one mindfulness skill from my book, Return to Mindfulness, where it's a systematic way of fostering these 8 qualities of the mind that disrupt our default biases so we can show up with more intention, integrity, and clarity. So until I see you tomorrow, stay sama.